Welcome to Yoga with Carolyn. Today we're going to do a beginner's class as we break down the poses, just giving us some helpful hints so that when we take a class we feel really successful and we feel like we want to come back. I know a lot of people are trying yoga for the first time right now, and maybe some of the yoga has been intimidating to us. The biggest thing with yoga is that we're going to connect our breath and our bodies. We are also going to be gentle and explore at the same time. We want to, I don't want to say push our edge, but just find that edge and release into it. We want to make sure that we do not hold our breath. That's the biggest thing. And we'll protect knees and shoulders, and beyond that, our poses can look a little different than our neighbors. So I just want you to be mindful as we stretch today, being gentle and having a good time. It's okay to laugh at yourself in a yoga class. I know we think it's very serious. I laugh all the time. With that, let's start to sit up tall, drawing those shoulders on our backs, lengthening through our spine, and just take a breath. I'm going to start out by noticing our body. Are we tight? Do we feel good? How do those knees feel? Do they feel like they're up towards our ears, or are they down on the ground? Does our lower backs feel tight today? And with that, let's begin. As we inhale, sweep those arms up, interlacing our hands, flipping those palms and lengthening. So we're creating space in our rib cage to breathe. Inhale, let's lengthen a little bit more. And as we exhale, release our right hand, reach over and out with that left. So I kept that space that I created, and I'm folding into it. Inhale, let's rise back up. Let's interlace those fingers again. Exhale, release our left hand, reach over and out with that right. Are you noticing? Are we breathing? Inhale, let's come back up again. Let's interlace, create space. We're going to start out with our first twist. Now, twisting is all about that space in the spine. So lengthen, and let's exhale, bring our right arm across our body and start to look over that left shoulder. We want to make sure that our shoulders stay over the hips, over those sit bones. Let's come back through our center, create space, lengthen, reach up top, and exhale, twist the other direction. Now, we don't want to sacrifice twisting for lengthening, so we want to lengthen. Maybe we twist a little bit less and come back through our center, reaching up tall, flip those palms one more time, and exhale, let's slowly release. Let's come up onto our hands and our knees. We're going to come into something we call tabletop here, where our shoulders are over our wrists and our hips are over those knees, the center of our hips. And we're going to make our hands as wide and as big as we can as we press down. As we inhale, we're going to bring our chin and our chest through, looking up, and then exhale, rounding, drawing our navel to our spine, chin to our chest. Inhale again, lengthening. Exhale as we round. Just one more time. Inhale. How's our spine today? Exhale, rounding. Are we connecting our breath and our movement? And then coming back to a flat spine. Yoga, we do a lot of balancing through the work, through our breath, through just balancing on two limbs. So we're going to start out by extending that right leg and our left arm. From our fingertips to our toes, we're reaching long. Our core is engaging, and thumb points towards the ceiling. Exhale, let's slowly release. Let's extend out through that left leg, and maybe this is where we go today. Maybe we don't raise that right arm, and that's okay. Rotating that right thumb to reach up to the sky. Exhale, let's release. From here, the best way to get into down dog is we're going to take our feet back and find a high plank. And then start to lift our hips as we shift our weight back towards our heels. Now just notice in down dog, do our heels touch the ground? Are they a mile away? Now we're going to make sure that those fingertips stay spreading, and we push back a little bit more into those heels. Now let's start to look in between our hands, and we can walk our feet forward, or we can step the right foot and the left foot to meet it. Now I'm going to soften my knees in my first forward fold of the day. And then let's sweep those arms all the way up. Exhale. So we're going to come to the front of our mats, coming into mountain pose, or Tadasana. So for this, we want to make sure that our feet are no wider than our hips, but the feet can actually come and touch. I prefer that my feet stay slightly apart. Personal preference, right? Now we're going to start out with our hands at our heart. Just take a breath, notice. Are we centered, or are we leaning forward? Are we leaning back? Now we're going to release our hands. Palms are going to face forward for mountain pose. Let's sweep those arms up. Inhale. We're going to lengthen through our spine. As we exhale, we're going to fold with a flat back. Notice my knees start to bend. Our right foot is going to step back towards a lunge position. Our left foot to meet it. Inhale. As we exhale, let's lower our knees to the mat. We're going to bring our chest an inch above our ground. Our elbows are staying in. This is our chaturanga. We're going to inhale, start to lengthen, curling up, finding a baby cobra. Now let's press onto our knees and curl under our toes. Take our hips back for down dog. Looking in between our hands, we can step as many times as we need to get our feet forward. Take those arms above our head. Exhale. So this is our traditional warm-up in yoga. It's called the sun salutation. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, we're folding again, softening those knees, flat back. Left foot steps back. Right to meet at high plank, coming down onto our knees, lowering our chest an inch above the ground, curling up for a baby cobra. Reach back through the toes, elbows come back. Press up onto our knees. Let's curl under our toes. Again, taking as many steps forward as we need. Left foot leads the way. Coming to our forward fold. And come all the way up. Exhale. How are we doing? We're going to go a little bit more. Maybe a little faster. Inhale. Exhale. Folding. Right foot steps back. Left to meet at high plank. Now we can come to our knees or stay up on our tippy toes with me. As we shift our shoulders over those fingertips. Chaturanga. Inhale. Cobra. Lifting. My elbows are still soft. My shoulders are away from the ears. Curl under our toes. Again, we can walk those feet forward. Right foot leads the way. Inhale, reaching those arms up. Exhale. So this is to create heat in our body so we can stretch in our poses. Inhale. Exhale, let's fold. Left foot steps back. Right to meet at high plank. Again, we can come to our knees or stay with me. Shoulders over those fingertips. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Stepping our feet forward. Left foot leads the way. Right. And sweep those arms up. Exhale as we release. How are we doing? So in any yoga class, how many sun salutations is really up to the instructor. There's all sorts of different number variations. We just like to make them even. Now we're going to come into the center of our mats. And we're going to take our feet 3 to 4 feet apart. And I want you to root out through the pinky toe side of your feet and feel like you're drawing up through the arches, through the inner thighs, and create strength. We're just going to take our arms out. Now my wrists should be over my ankles. And if they're not, it's okay. But that's where we're wanting to go. We're going to rotate our left toes to the front. My right foot is at a 90-degree angle, and we're going to bend in that left knee. Warrior 2. Now in our warrior 2, from fingertip to fingertip, my arms are even. My knee is bent. My thigh wants to be parallel, but it doesn't absolutely have to be. We're protecting our knee here. And then we're going to root back into that right pinky toe to protect this right knee. Let's come back to our center, rotate those left toes. And let's rotate our right toes this time. For warrior 2, let's bend in that right knee. So I'm reaching back through my left pinky toe. I'm bending in my right knee as much as it's comfortable. And just check in with that right knee. Make sure it tracks over the ankle or slightly behind. Let's come back to our center, rotating our right toes. We're going to rotate those left toes again. And we're going to keep our arms at our shoulder height. As we reach that left rib cage forward, I'm lengthening, creating space. Let my left hand come down to my left shin. Take my right arm up. So my shoulders should stack. My hips are trying to stack. Now sometimes I can come closer to the floor, and sometimes I'm just gonna hang out right here for triangle. In triangle, I shouldn't feel like I'm crushing down. My shoulder, that right shoulder should not be dropping to the floor. I should be open, come back up. Let's rotate our left toes. Let's try it on that right side. Right toes turn. We're reaching, extending. See, I've created space, taking that right hand down, reaching that left arm up. I'm still rooted in the back edge of that left pinky toe, protecting my left knee. Again, I can slide my hand down as long as I don't feel like my left shoulder drops. And let's come back up. We're gonna rotate those right toes. How we doing? Should we roll those shoulders out for a moment? Let's take those arms up. So one of our last poses that is very similar to this is we're gonna rotate our left toes again to the front as we bend in that left knee. We're gonna bring our left forearm to our thigh. Take that right arm up. So it's very similar to our warrior two. This is called extended side angle. Our shoulders are stacking, or we can take that right arm up over our ear. Our shoulders still stack though. I'm rooting back through my right pinky toe. As we inhale, let's come up, rotate those left toes. Take our right toes away. Bending in that right knee again. Right forearm to the thigh, lift up through the rib cage, staying lifted up through that left fingertips. Or take that left arm up over the ear. So if my fingertips are reaching over my ear, I'm reaching from my left pinky toe to my left pinky finger. Nice and long, come back through our center as we rotate those right toes. Now we're gonna just step forward to the front edge of our mats. How do we feel? Awesome. So that was warrior two, triangle, and extended side angle. We're gonna do a warrior one. Now there's lots of ways to get into warrior one. This is going to be just kind of a little explanation. So we're gonna step, well, let's take our arms up actually. Exhale, let's fold. We're gonna step our right foot back, think 3 or 4 feet, and rotate on those right toes to a 45-degree angle. That right hip reaches to the floor. So warrior two is here, warrior one is here. We're gonna bend in that left knee. So I'm rooted back through my right pinky toe, make this right inner thigh nice and strong. And we're gonna bring forward, come back to the front, take inhale. Exhale as we fold. We're gonna step our left foot back, 45-degree angle. We're starting to square our hips to the front, soft bend in that right knee as we reach up. Root back through the left pinky toe. Again, so if we think about this, our right hip rotates back so that left can come forward. Again, create space, lengthen, reaching up. Exhale, come back. Inhale. Let's exhale, fold. Take our right foot back. Now we're gonna come onto the right knee first. Uncurl our right toes for a low lunge. We're gonna reach our arms up. Our hips are squared to the front, and that left knee is over that ankle. Think about pushing down through our right knee as we lengthen and lift. Exhale, we're gonna fold. Curl under the right toe, step it back to the front. Left foot's going to step back. Come down onto our left knee. Again, bending in that right knee over the ankle or slightly behind. So you reach those arms up. So my hips are square. I'm pushing down through my left knee, lengthening, reaching up. Now in yoga, if our shoulders can handle it, we bring our hands together here. If they are a little bit tighter, hang out here. If our shoulders are completely tired, we bring our hands to our hearts. Let's fold, curl under our left toes. We're gonna step that left foot back to the front and come all the way up. Inhale, exhale. So chair is another big pose that we do a lot of. Again, my feet are no wider than my hips, and I have the option to bring my feet together. I, again, prefer to have them slightly apart. Let's take those arms above our head. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to shift our weight back like we're sitting in that chair. We're going to draw up our core and make sure that the tailbone is tucked and the glutes are nice and active. And I like to activate all these muscles on the side, so I imagine that there is a magnet between my heels, and my heels are repelling each other, firing up those glutes. Let's rise up. Inhale, exhale. Now we're going to work a little bit on our balance. Again, a big part of yoga. So we're going to root down through our right foot. Shift all of our weight into our right leg. We're going to just come up onto the left toes. This is our little kickstand, right? Just pause here. Connect with the pose and our breath. Now, do I feel amazing? Can I bring that left foot to the right calf? Can I bring that left foot to that right inner thigh? Notice that my toes are not touching my knee. I don't want my knee to go out to the side. Let's bring our hands to our heart and maybe up over the head. It's okay to wobble. Think of a tree outside. The trunk is nice and strong. The branches move, right? Now let's bring our hands back to our heart and release that left foot. Starting by rooting down to the left foot. Let's come up onto the right toes. Now I'm already feeling like I'm falling over, so maybe this is where I should be staying today, right? Maybe my foot can come to my calf, or maybe my heel can come into that inner thigh. So I do press my right leg in and my left leg back. So there's two pushing happening. That's why I don't want my foot on my knee. Hands can come to the heart, or take those arms above our head. Beautiful. We feel strong. And bring our hands back to our heart and release. I could use the wall if I would like to, if I need to. Again, we're just building up to it. Don't feel like you can't use it. Now we're gonna come back to the front. Let's take those arms up. Exhale, we're gonna fold. We're gonna come into a high plank, so step both feet back and then shift our hips back for our down dog. We're gonna bring our right knee and gently place it behind our right wrist. We're gonna flex the right toes and uncurl that left foot. This is called our pigeon. Now if it bothers my right knee at all, I'm gonna keep my heel tucked in. If it doesn't, I'm gonna keep my foot flexed, but bring my shin parallel to the front and fold into it. This is pigeon, great for the glutes and also good for that left front hip. Just one more breath. And then let's walk our hands back. We're gonna curl under our left toes, come back into our down dog, so shift those hips back. We're gonna bring our left knee behind that left wrist. Again, uncurl our toes, flex the left foot. Now I can keep my heel in, I can bring my shin more parallel to the front. I want my weight even in both legs, so I don't wanna be off here. I'm folding. If I need to for my knee, I have some other options, but for today, this is our pigeon. If it bothers our knee, completely get out of it. Yoga is about being mindful, noticing our body, noticing our breath here. Are we holding it? Maybe this feels amazing. Maybe you're a runner and you're trying yoga for the first time. This is one of the best poses you can do. We're gonna come up. We're gonna curl back under our right toes, step our left foot back, last down dog of the day. So make sure our fingertips are spread, hips are coming back, drop back into our heels. Our shoulder blades are away from our ears, so think about shrugging your shoulders down our back. Coming down onto our hands and knees. We're gonna flip over and come to seated. As we start to extend our legs, we're gonna keep our left leg out and we're gonna draw that right heel in. So my hips and my chest are square over this left leg. We're gonna sweep those arms up, inhale. Exhale, find our forward fold. So single leg forward fold here. Now notice that my spine is lengthened. I haven't rounded, I haven't gripped right here. I don't have a big rounding in my shoulders. I'm gonna make sure I stay long and create space. Now I could place my hands just on either side of my leg. Come back up, we're gonna switch. Extend out through that right leg. Left heel draws in. And the left heel can go even at my calf. We're gonna take those arms up and we're gonna fold. Again, create space. Hands can rest on either side of the leg. If we happen to get the toes, make sure we didn't go into that rounded version in our back. Our shoulder blades stay. One more. And then let's take both legs straight. So a lot of times if we have really tight hips, we end up doing this again. See, this is look like how I almost drive my car. So we're gonna take those shoulders, sweep those arms up, flex our feet, lengthen, and just let the hands float. So all of that work should be in the hamstrings. I should not feel anything across the shoulders. Now we're gonna take our arms up, inhale, exhale, release. Let's bring our feet together, cobbler's pose. As we inhale, let's lengthen. Exhale, let's fold into it. Now I like to make this look like a book. My pinky toe side of my feet are pushing together. My big toes are opening. And let's take our hands underneath our knees and come back. Now we're gonna make our way to the front edge of our mats. And then we're gonna slowly roll down. I like to hang on, or if I have the core that wants to be challenged today, let it go slowly, slowly, slowly. So we're gonna make sure that our ponytails are not in the way, that the back of our head can rest on the mat. And we're gonna walk our feet so that our ankles are underneath our knees. We're gonna place our hands palms down on either side of the hip. And I want you to tuck that tailbone. Feel like our tailbone lengthened towards our toes. We're gonna push down through our feet, the big toes, the pinky toes, and the heels. As we roll those shoulders under, find our way into our bridge. In our bridge, we can start to roll the shoulder blades under. We can bring our hands together behind our backs. But we wanna make sure that our knees stay in line with our hips and that our knees stay over the ankles. One more breath. And slowly release. Let's roll on down. So I'm really close to my wall, so I'm gonna bring my arms into goalpost, which is like cactus, however you wanna think about it. We're gonna keep our knees bent, walk the feet together. Now I have the option to come into a T position. That's our other option here. Awesome place to be. And let's take our knees over to that right side. Left shoulder blade stays on the ground. Noticing our breath, our twist. Let's come back to the center. Take our knees over to the left side. And let's come back to our center. So our final pose is going to be our Shavasana. It's the best pose of the class, at least I think so. We're gonna bring our hands, palms facing up on either side of our hips. Now our knees can stay bent, and if they stay bent, they're gonna rest on each other. That's for my lower back. Or they can extend. Take our feet out and rest. So in Shavasana, we allow our body to remember what it did today. The stretches, the strengthening, our breathing. And we just have to be here. We don't have to think about anything. We don't have to worry about our breath. We just get to rest. To wiggle our fingers and our toes, wrists, ankles, arms, and our legs. And then we're gonna roll onto our favorite side by first bending our knees, rolling on, allowing our head to rest in the crook of the bottom arm. And then we're gonna take our top arm, push up, and find our way to seated. So hopefully this was helpful. You feel a little bit more empowered, a little bit more aware, not really aware, I guess, but I guess aware. But a little bit more with the poses. I did give the names. I hope hope you come back for our beginner's flow in a couple days. And with that, we're going to sit up tall, make sure we're rooted down through our sit bones. And then let's inhale, take those arms up. As we exhale, draw our hands to our hearts. Thank you so much for sharing your yoga practice with me today. The divine light in me honors and acknowledges the divine light in you. Namaste. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.